If you're going to be getting out of high school soon, and if you're not planning on spending the next 4 or more years working on a university degree, this film was made for you. It's about all the different options that are open to you. Various careers that you can get into that are interesting, exciting, and rewarding. And it's about the different ways you go about getting the training that will set you up in those careers. There are 20,000 different... There are 24,000... 26,000? I'm sorry, I blew it.
Let's set it up again.
A funny thing happened on the way to making this movie. When I started directing it, I thought this would be an easy film to make. Simple, low budget, a standard kind of project. But it didn't turn out that way. It wasn't simple. It wasn't easy. It took all the skills and talent and professional know-how that our production team could muster. And when I got thinking about where they got those skills and that knowledge, that's what this film is all about. Gene took a correspondence course in accounting and bookkeeping. George got his electrician's training by going to adult education classes at night.
Got it, Jerry.
Jan went to a private secretarial school. Tony took audio electronics at a junior college.
Roll sound.
Bill was a cameraman in the Air Force.
Roll camera. Rolling. Slated.
Scene 1, take 2.
So all of us have careers that take special training, some kind of educational experience other than 4 years of college. Not that we're putting down a 4-year university course. It's simply that our jobs call for something different, and so do more than 20,000 other professions and trades and vocations, from photographer to welder. But in a short movie, how could we suggest the tremendous number of careers open to you? Barbara had an idea. Here's how it worked out.
Welder.
Interior designer.
Technical illustrator.
Cosmetologist.
Forest ranger.
Drafting specialist.
Laser technician.
Floral designer.
Sign painter.
Fingerprint expert.
Carpenter.
Musician.
Landscape designer.
Bank teller.
Picture frame maker.
Travel agent.
Watch technician.
Film processor.
You get the point. If you take a look around, you see literally thousands of kinds of work waiting to be done. Trades, professions, crafts, specialties, all kinds of jobs that are interesting and rewarding. Okay, suppose one of those fields looks pretty good to you. How do you get involved? How do you go about getting the training that leads to the career you're interested in? You have a number of choices. It's a matter of choosing the one that fits you best. To give you an idea of those choices, we hauled our cameras around the country and checked out a number of different kinds of training programs.
Projection ready.
Okay, roll it. Almost everywhere we went, we were in for some surprises. For one thing, we found classes being held in some very unusual places. For example, here's one student just coming out from his final exam. This is a school that turns out qualified commercial deep-sea divers in exactly 11 weeks. When Mike graduates, he'll be able to enter a field in which the pay is high and the demand for skilled men is constant.
Next will be the hat. Screw the helmet. Easy.
Okay, topside, you're on the bottom.
All right, topside on the bottom.
This is just one of some 9,000 private schools across the country that specialize in education, not just for education's sake, but for employment's sake, too. They come in different shapes and sizes, and they go under various names. Sometimes they're called technical schools, or vocational institutes, or business colleges. The people who run them call them proprietary schools, or post-secondary private schools. But no matter what they're called, they are in the business of training people for particular careers. That training is usually very concentrated and can take anywhere from a few weeks to a couple of years.
Bill, you want to move around in position?
We stopped in at a number of different kinds of these specialty schools to check on what the students think of them. All set?
First shot's lined up.
Action.
When we mount the capstan to the capstan motor,
The school is practical because I have the opportunity to work with my hands and get involved with the up-to-date equipment that they have here.
It's critical and must be maintained at 3/10,000ths of an inch or less.
The course will take me 8 months. You get 1,000 hours in basic electronics. So I feel the cost is moderately high, but it's worth it for the training you get.
What's the problem?
Be getting 20 microamps out of here.
Yes. 20 microamps is all right.
I feel my future is pretty bright. I'll make it pretty easily if I apply myself.
You'll get 20 mils out of here, 20 microamps, if you've got it to set up the way you have there.
The best thing about this course is the fun and enjoyment of doing it. It's hard work too, but I thought I would really enjoy working with the animals, and the subjects we have to take are to learn to handle the dog. It's very important to establish a relationship with the dog. This is something that you have to feel out with each animal you do. Also learning to groom the dog, a complete grooming, learning about what equipment you might want, and learning shop management. That'll be something you'll have for the rest of your life to work at if you so enjoy it.
Turn it on. And the first thing we do is the code.
Now, to make this turn properly, we're going to go ahead up about this position and make a square corner. That gives your trailer a chance to come on around. All right, now turn fast. That's the way.
I thought it'd be more classroom than actually being in the truck and getting the feel of the power as you put your hand on the gear shift. Maybe this is the reason why a lot of guys want to drive a truck. Sense of power.
Now what we're going to do is to back in up here, so we want to angle toward that pole over there.
Okay.
So we'll get in the proper position to
We're
bring it
back
around
in right here.
Yeah.
It seems to me that when a guy wants to drive a truck, why, he won't rest until he learns how to drive a truck.
Now stop. Okay, Harry, watch out of your mirror. There we are.
Okay.
All right, Matt, turn your wheel to the right a little. You
To the
catch
right?
the corner of the trailer, not too much now.
Okay.
That's the way. Now to the right a little. To the right a little. Turn to the right to get that corner back. Keep your foot off the accelerator.
I knew that I wanted to be an accountant, so that's why I came to this school. They teach you a lot more than what I had thought. Any person interested in business would be interested in this course because it covers all phases of business.
But when you have a very large face like you do, the idea is to get the hair down around the face so it'll look slimmer. Okay. Desiree, you're up at 155 pounds.
No.
Rick, your income statement is all completed.
Quality of the instructors is very good here. I feel that they really know that you're trying to learn something and they're willing to teach it and help each of the students if they need the help.
Desiree, let's see exactly what happened here.
The expense of the school to me isn't that much. It seems like a lot, but you're learning a lot in 9 months. I feel I really will be capable of holding down the job.
See in selling your employer and convince your wife, and Lord knows we all need that.
I didn't think that I was ready for college, so I decided that this particular vocational school would be beneficial for me. The name of the course is called a medical assistant. I will be qualified to be what would be classified as a cotton swab lady. I'll be a doctor's assistant in an office.
I can't get mine in focus.
Oh, here, I got a segment at neutrophil. Look at this one.
This is the introduction to the medical field, a stepping stone, should you say.
There seems to be some sort of interference, and I can't locate it.
Have you checked the grounding?
Yeah, I checked that, but I've checked the leads, too.
Well, as you've seen, the training is highly specialized and intensive, and you can come out in a comparatively short time qualified for work. Donna, splice that on the next section. Another thing we noticed, you can find a private specialty school to train you for almost any career, from fashion design to plumbing, from barbering to diamond cutting. Of course, they're money-making businesses, these schools, so they charge you a tuition. Some can be rather expensive. So it's a good idea to shop around and compare prices and facilities before you settle on a particular school. The best of them have an excellent record of placing their students in jobs. But beware of any school that promises you a job. Ethical schools will make every effort to find a position for you, but none can guarantee a job. In fact, it's against the law in many states for a school to suggest it can. Now, we're going to show you an entirely different kind of career training that we looked into. We took some shots of several people. We're going to run them for you quickly. And you see if you can tell where these people are going. Where are they going? If you guess they're all on their way to class, you're right. Correspondence schools offer home study courses ranging from advertising to zookeeping. And again, we were surprised at what we found. For instance, some courses, like this one for gas turbine mechanics, include on-location training.
You've been studying about turbine engines for some time.
After you finish the home study part of the course, you go to the school's classrooms and shops for the final work. Other courses you take from start to finish right in your own home.
Behind which are your fuel nozzles.
There's a lot to be said for a school that comes in your mailbox. You can study subjects you might not be able to find in a school near where you live. You make up your own study schedule and set your own pace. And usually, you get a lot of individual attention. This is a course in radio announcing.
Hi, Art. I just finished listening to your 6th lesson, and it shows a lot of improvement, especially in getting a more natural feeling into those
institutional type commercials. But Art, you're still dropping those endings on some words, especially watch those words with ing endings.
Remember, it's going, not going. And it's speaking, not speaking. Now, I'd like to have you take a look at that word list on page 11 of your 7th lesson.
This is Art Oliveris, and this is lesson number 7. I'll be starting out with the newscast exercise.
To be successful with a correspondence course, you have to have self-discipline. It's all too easy to cut classes when the school is in your own living room. If you drop out, you may have to pay for the entire course anyway. So be sure to read all the small print in any contract before you sign up for home study. The best courses can furnish impressive skills in a wide range of careers, from announcing, to drafting, to forestry, to audio electronics. It's a good one. I'll buy that one. How'd it sound to you?
It's a good take.
Okay, take a break. We'll be running it from the top. We were really stuck when it came to the biggest career educational system in the world. That's the Armed Forces. The Army alone teaches over 300 different skills and vocations, and most of these can be transferred to immediate use in civilian life. And there's the Navy, and the Marines, and the Air Force. Well, how do you cover all that? Then Jim here had an idea. He said, get me a bunch of film from the various services, and I'll work something out with the film editor and the music director. He did, and this is it. All of the services will guarantee to give you the type of training and job you want. Before you decide whether to enlist, you can take a test to see if you can qualify for the training you want. The test is free and doesn't obligate you in any way. And if you pass it, the service will give you a guarantee in writing that if you do enlist, you'll get that training and a service job in that field. The most obvious drawback for most people who are considering training in one of the services is the commitment. Once you're in, you can't change your mind and drop out. Most of the advantages are obvious too. The professional training is excellent. You get paid for learning. Then you have a guarantee of using that training in your service job. And when you get out, there's the GI Bill available, so you can get more training or schooling as a civilian if you want to. On the other hand, you can probably choose from quite a variety of career training very near where you live. Many high schools across the country are the setting for some very specialized classes for adults. And by adult, we found that they mean almost anyone who is adult enough to have a serious interest in learning something special. To find out the what and the why and the how these students are learning, we talked to some of the people who are teaching them.
The wire is pulled through the wire feeder, through the contact tube, through the liner, and when you press the trigger, we get the wire coming out. We have students coming here in the evening because they realize that they don't have any saleable trades. After having attended our class, the student has knowledge of a trade. at least